into a brand new wave, drowning out the noise that's tame. Liberty whispers through the brave, breaking free from every chain. Nullify the rules they crave, crypto beats that pave the way. Anarchy with minds that's safe, algorithms new dawn today. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride. Beyond control we take a stand, casting off the iron brand. Freedom flowing through our hands, revolution's our command. Decentralize the way we plan, all together we expand. Breaking shackles for the clan, in this journey we're unpanned. Out of bounds and out of sight, building futures pure and bright. Escape the grip and win the fight. Welcome into the legacy ride.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I think the tunneling Belgians got John. Wow. And more on Legacy News. For everybody, that's an inside joke. If you ever watch World Blockchain Roundtable, join us on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we have a roundtable of a panel of experts in crypto, sociology,
Central.
psychology. But yeah, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central on YouTube, Dragon Chain Network, The Legacy Right, Lisa Litecoin, Satoshi Sean when he's available. Even when he is available, he forgets to stream it.
Craig from Rivet.
Yeah. So yeah, he doesn't stream. I'm going off of the channels that you can stream it on. Den.social YouTube page. You can check that out. But that was an inside joke. I think they got him, dude. I think if you go to the to our Telegram page, you'll see what I'm talking about. Sean dropped the Facebook reel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you talked about Hunter Biden's crack house for a minute.
No, that's been obsolete for a while, dude. What the?
Well, it's out of
Hunter
now.
Well, Hunter recently
he's been forgiven by the law.
No, he recently converted to Christianity.
What? That can't be real. Kind of like today's topic. Is it real?
Probably not.
Is it any of my business? I don't know.
Probably not. Is it any of your business? Probably not. Do we really care? Probably not. Does it really have relevance to anything? Probably not. The simple fact
outrage.
is, the outrage. But I mean, Donald Trump was accordingly, a FBI informant on Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, the Democrat hoax.
Convenient.
It doesn't exist. Very convenient. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't an informant. Or I'm sorry, I wouldn't be surprised if he was an informant, per se. Kind of makes sense. Cover your bases, cover your ass. He did eventually kick Jeffrey Epstein out and ban him from Mar-a-Lago, but that was after the fact of him being arrested, charged, and eventually convicted of the sexual. Was it sex trafficking? No, it was just sexual misconduct with a minor.
Yeah.
So, what he was being charged, that would come later, and for which Jeffrey Epstein most likely was also an informant for the feds during the later federal investigation up on the sex trafficking that was going on, that could have taken down many people in power and collapsed our entire government. That's why he had to be uninstalled inside of his cell.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. There is a minute missing, but just to be clear, none of them video cameras in prisons actually work, right? So whatever happens, man. He could have uninstalled himself. We don't know. The likelihood is he probably didn't, but because a lot of people in power wanted to ensure that the secrets that he had on them stayed under wraps. Yeah. So, but the fact that Donald Trump could have been a FBI informant is very, very very awe-inspiring, I guess.
It's convenient that he's top dog and this comes out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, still thinking that there's two scenarios to this entire implication. One, well, actually three. One, he was donated over, let's say, $200 million in campaign contributions by AIPAC. So he's kind of controlled by the American for Israel Political Action Committee lobbyist group. So he has that forum to keep quiet if it is true that Israel owns the United States, has significant influence within our government. The other would be the fact that there's two scenarios of why he's covering up this Epstein ordeal. One, he's a pedophile himself and he is implicated, which is my scenario. I think that is truth. We have the evidence just on the pictures and the video of him with Jeffrey Epstein. They were business partners. But and he's taken numerous flights with Jeffrey Epstein. Call it what you will, that doesn't mean, the flight logs don't mean much of anything. But there is a correlation. Another potential conspiratorial aspect could be he's not a pedophile, but there is an implication of his wife, his third wife right now, who is she's like 25 years his junior, and her history, her past as effectively a model and most likely a prostitute. And where does that lie and where does that start and how young was she, right? So there's that implication towards the simple form that we have Melania put centrifuge into this. So he could be covering up for the fact that Melania may have been trafficked in the Epstein Maxwell operation.
I mean, it's possible. Centerfold, unique term.
Would have been back in like the 80s, 90s, etc. Like when she was younger. Like, how old is she now? She's like in her 60s, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so it would have been some time that with those allegations. So we'd have to go back into the early realm of the operation.
You got to remember, these are different times. They had things under the table and stuff like that for stuff like that.
Oh,
so I'm sure it still happens.
It's happening. Oh yeah, it was easier to get away with it back then because of the lack of technological transparency. So we didn't have like social media back then. You didn't have the internet, World Wide Web spread like it is today. That's why it's so paramount that governments across the world try to figure out ways to stuff the World Wide Web and consolidate utilizing the internet as a worldwide intranet, sort of like how
Right.
China has the Great Firewall.
Yeah.
So with that, we have a clip from old Timmy the Russian Pool. Timmy
Mr.
the Russian
Beanie
Pool.
himself.
Yeah, Mr. Bald Head underneath that bean.
Why can't he come out as a bald man just like myself?
Because he's gay and possibly a pedophile.
Oh, charges left. Well, let's get into the video before, anything else is said that's too spicy.
We've got this story from the Daily Mail. President Trump and FBI informants. Speaker Mike Johnson may have just spilt the beans as to why Trump is so concerned.
Why is Trump so
Mike
concerned?
Johnson, Trump's concerned for other reasons. Mike Johnson is coming out and playing cover because Mike Johnson is probably on those list files as well. So, Speaker Johnson, if you're watching, you're not watching. You're a pedophile. Continue.
Yeah, I suppose he's okay.
About this Epstein story.
Is the hoax that the
Super quiet. Hold on.
he has never
Start again.
is the hoax that the Democrats are using to try to attack him. He has never said or suggested or implied. I've talked to him about this many times.
It comes
He is
across as
horrified.
calling the whole thing a hoax.
It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this.
Now, there's a couple theories on this. One is that Mike Johnson let slip this statement to try and protect Trump's reputation. There's also that, basically like, oh, did you know he was an FBI informant stopping it? That's why.
This game, you're not.
Or I think there's a strong possibility here. I don't know for sure. I'm not saying I trust Trump on any of this stuff. Elon says he's in the files, whatever. Let's get the files and figure it out. But let's at least entertain. Did Speaker Mike Johnson maybe accidentally just slip up that Trump was an FBI informant? And the reason why Trump doesn't want the documents released is that they're going to show that Trump was snitching on powerful people. That's prominent, wealthy individuals doing untoward things. And the documents are going to show that Donald Trump was a snitch.
Here's the argument that I don't know, obviously, but the argument against that would be if there was material,
usually criminals or snitches,
that would be damaging to Donald Trump and his business relationships, it would have been out by now.
I disagree.
The Democrats would have gotten them with it.
If it was implicative of Trump, if the documents show that Trump was doing bad things to children and underage girls, they'd have released it. But if the documents show that Trump was working with
highly
law enforcement
disagree
to
there,
stop
Tim.
this,
Right.
that's not damaging to Trump's reputation among his voters.
Highly
damaging
disagree.
Yeah.
Because why would the Democrats, if this is a quote unquote Democrat operation, and they would have released it if there was a way to contain their people from culpability while simultaneously making transparent the opposition.
Well, I think if you're going to release something, you don't release everything in one wave. You shock and awe very slowly and gradually. It's the poison pill.
That's the dangers right here, and I think that's where the danger of Trump's administration is you're possibly going to lead to a shock and awe if they even do release these files ever, which I doubt they will, because I don't know if they actually know how they could do it while containing the other side. You go, specifically when you have another nation state with so much power and influence in your own government politically. creating so much political discourse. So how do you shock and awe anyways? And so to your point, Andrew, if the Democrats, like say under Biden, when he did have a majority, or wait, did he ever have a majority in the House? I think it was split. I think the
Yeah,
Senate was Republican. Yeah, so would have been tougher. It would still have been tougher. But if under Biden, just using Biden as an example, since he was the last president, why not release it to hurt the Republicans when you have at least a majority in the House, and you could effectively force filibuster to slow down the Senate from stopping the release of it, or you could just executive order it. I mean, like Trump's doing now.
That's pretty
And
accurate.
then you have then that creates the tit for tat that says, well, let's cover face, and then the Republican side, now that Trump actually has a majority in both houses and is a Republican incumbent, can save face by releasing to hurt the Democrats, and then it still doesn't make any sense, because by doing that unravels the house of cards, and that's effectively going to collapse a government that's already teetering economically, financially, I mean, politically.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't want to justify the destruction of their influence.
I mean, it just goes with the territory, man.
Mm.
You got power, you want to cultivate it as quickly as you can and as long as you can, and you try to let as least amount of it as possible go as you move forward and escalate. So let's get back into it real quick.
Trump's reputation among powerful elites he needs to do deals with. So the Democrats might be thinking it's going to help Trump. If we leak files showing that Trump stopped Epstein, people are going to cheer for him.
Right.
Trump may be saying, if they find out that I ratted on Bill Gates and Bill Clinton, and I was the one actually spying on him or wore a wire or did who knows what, these people aren't going to want to do deals with his business. If Trump was snitching on prominent world leaders, I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying I believe that's the case, but it could be an explanation. Trump was a snitch. I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to paint Trump in the worst possible light in this regard. Trump only cared about himself. He only cared about his organization. When he heard about what Epstein was doing, he said, this is exposure I don't need. And when the FBI came to him about Epstein, he says, I'll do whatever you want. I'll help you out. And they say, wear a wire, give us a list of names. What if Trump gave ledgers from his club to the FBI? What's going to happen to Mar-a-Lago when all the people who spend their 20 grand, I think it's like 200 grand to sign up or something. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's like 20 grand a year or something. What's going to happen when a bunch of these people find out that their names and private information were handed over to the feds as part of a criminal investigation into Epstein or to illicit activities? What if Trump was informing more than just Epstein? What if Trump was feeding the FBI information on tons of cases about prominent, powerful elites? That would be extremely bad for Trump's business and his dealings with powerful elites, so much so that he'd be like, we can't release this stuff. It would destroy my family's business, my legacy. If people find out that I was basically a spy for the federal government against powerful elites, the populace, his voter base might be like, wow, Trump was actually trying to stop bad people. That's not what the powerful people are going to think, though. They're going to think, destroy this guy. I want revenge.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know how true this is. I'm interested in finding out more, but I will say this is actually it's more believable that he was an FBI informant than that he was a KGB informant, like it was asserted by what's his name. So
Jonathan Chait.
Yeah, Jonathan Chait. So I think that and also it would be a good thing because it would prove that he's more patriotic than Jonathan Chait would as well. But yeah, I don't know that he is, obviously, and I want to see more information. There's a tweet going around that was, I forget the guy's name, but now that this has come out, there's more information kind of trickling out. People are saying, yes, Donald Trump was an FBI informant.
Has Johnson been asked about the comment? Has there been a follow-up? Hey, what do you mean by that?
I think this actually just came out a couple hours
Yeah,
ago.
his
So I don't
eyes,
know if there's been enough
right after he
time.
says the word informant, look at his eyes. His eyes get real wide and he blinks.
Do I have another
and
one?
then a couple seconds later,
there's
he looks
this-
at
this
the
video.
camera.
Did I
this
just
one.
do that?
Let me play this video for you guys. Listen to this.
You actually try to press up on Trump, but you can never get to him.
The only thing more popular than me is wild natural deodorant. Cherry blossom. Oh, I
Because he had ex-FBI agents all around him.
all the time. And I tried a couple of times to press him and make arrangements where I could work with him and earn with him. I did that with other big contractors. I had the power of the unions. I could do all kinds of little things, but I couldn't get to him. He wouldn't bite. He just wouldn't bite. He didn't want to do anything like that. And there was layers of people in the middle. One of my guys said, "We'll go up to the office." I said, "We'll go up to the office. Everybody around him is an ex-FBI agent. We'll go up to the office, we'll get cuffed, and we'll go right to prison."
Wow.
So forget about Trump. He's a legitimate guy. He don't want to do it. Forget about Trump.
And
This
for,
makes
for
me try to-
context, that's Sammy the Bull Gravano. So he's a fairly well-known organized crime guy.
It makes
What if a component of Trump's acrimony is his anger is that he spent a lot of time thinking that he was cooperating with the feds, that he was in their good graces, and then when they betrayed him and went after him, he took it very personal.
Firstly, so much weird stuff. When he visited or someone visited Ghislaine Maxwell, was basically the ringleader of the whole Epstein. You call it the Maxwell Files is what it should be called. It's her running this thing. She had
Whoa, what
put her in a
the
minimum
fuck?
security prison, and then
Let's take a moment of silence and a chuckle at this. Look at that. Laugh, Andrew. What the
Ha
hell?
ha 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 ha. Ha ha
Is
ha
he-
ha ha.
Is he just going outright? He's just going outright.
Well, he has a
homosexual.
history of being a little out there.
Little esoteric.
Just a little.
Let's go.
All right.
a month later, she says Trump never did anything toward. I'm like, all right, that smells. So I'm like, maybe Trump was hooking up with underage girls, and that's why all of a sudden he's like, it's a hoax. But I think your conspiracy crazy theory might be more realistic that because he's such an ordered candidate. He's such like a law and order guy that he would have worked with the feds, like happy to, because he might have went to them.
Because if he was doing dirty work with underage girls, the Democrats had access to that for years, and they could destroy him.
And
they didn't.
And so now it's why is Trump freaking out over this? The Democrats didn't release it, and they would have. They falsely accused him of rape in New York. Civil fraud. They tried arresting him. They literally arrested him, tried convicting him several times. They'd have taken any opportunity. I'm not saying I know for sure. I don't know if it's my theory. I'm just saying if this is true, there probably is a higher probability that Trump's a snitch.
Honestly,
and I'm saying that intentionally.
It makes me love him more if
a
he's
snitch and a pedophile
and getting Epstein thrown away. That's a good thing.
Not just Epstein. Prominent, powerful elites when he's saying Trump was surrounded by ex-FBI guys, how does Trump know the ex-FBI guys?
And he was so famous in the 80s.
Who in his circle is like, I can get you connected with guys who were in the FBI?
A lot would ride on the powerful elites. What were they doing? And was it really bad? If it was Epstein level bad deeds, then that's not going to hurt him.
How cool would it be if Trump was an informant for the FBI for a long time? Like, actually saying, listen, I'm going to do my family business. Anywhere I can help you, I'll give you information. So with all his foreign business dealings, the feds were like, we want information. These guys are like, I'll help you out. I love this country. And then in his dealings, he discovered Hillary Clinton was a crook. She was doing untoward things with the Clinton Foundation. And he thought, I better run for office and put a stop to this.
Yeah.
What if Trump's whole thing was he stumbled? I'm just like, what a great movie it would be if Trump was just a business guy who was an informant and he accidentally walks into the wrong room at the wrong time and sees them all shredding documents. And then this triggers the movement. I have to save this country.
And then he rides down the escalator.
There's only,
That's right.
What if?
The feds came.
What
There's
if?
only a few good ones of us left, Donald. We need you. Like the ones he'd been working with in the 90s and the 2000s. They're like, we've been taken over. We need you to run for office. You have to save this country.
There is another conspiracy that's been around for a while, and that is Trump is deep state. And it was funny. We talked about this over the election.
Always
There's a
was.
conspiracy theory that I love this one. It's my favorite. In the late 2010, or I'm sorry, in the late 2000s, you saw the rise of Alex Jones. He was getting bigger and bigger and more prominent, more popular, and he got very, very big in the 2010s. And the Ron Paul love revolution, libertarianism, anti-establishment, anti-war was getting very popular online, which also bubbled up into the Tea Party and Occupy movements. So the conspiracy theory goes that the CIA, very, very smart guys who have plans in place for decades, said, how do we stop this? Okay. We're trying to do the stodgy uniparty candidates, the old white guy versus old white guy, but people aren't buying it anymore. The 2000 thing was crazy. You get Obama. They say the deep state goes, we're going to do Obama. We're going to the first black president. Still got protests after Obama won. People were still upset. Occupy Wall Street was during Obama's first term, 2011. And so CIA says something's not working. There's a populist uprising happening. What do? Here's the idea. We need a popular candidate who can play the villain of the establishment, but who's actually in it the whole time. So the conspiracy theory goes that Donald Trump is friends with Hillary Clinton. He's friends with the deep state, and they set him up to make it look like they were attacking him so that the conspiracy theorist anti-war faction would side with Donald Trump like Alex Jones had done. Then when he wins, the populist movement gets back behind the person you chose in the first place.
You know, the controlled opposition, essentially, maybe, except I feel like Hillary wasn't at the level of the people that Trump was. If Trump was working with FBI, I feel like there are people in the middle that didn't know, and they just got, rolled.
Entertain this. Brian Krasenstein says, Mike Johnson just claimed Trump was an FBI informant to help take down Epstein. If this is the case, then Trump would be a hero after it's all released and the Epstein files release the files. Interesting. When the liberals are saying Trump would be a hero if that were true. Interesting. Yeah. I don't think Trump is deep state. I think the simple solution tends to be the correct one. I think Donald Trump was an outside of the uniparty candidate. They didn't think he was going to win, but he's a celebrity who knows how to sell. They stumbled into it. He ended up winning. Hillary thought she was going to win, but Trump squeaked by with 3 states, getting about 80,000 votes in those states, put him over the edge. They got angry, lost their minds, and started having a temper tantrum, as they do, accusing him of being a spy. It bubbled up and escalated to the point where they literally arrested him and tried putting him in jail and stopping him, but then ultimately lost, and here we are, and Trump's largely won.
We knew that Trump had worked with the FBI over Epstein. They said this like few months ago. Had been made pretty clear that he'd already in the past been in contact with the FBI over Epstein. Now the word informant, it's almost semantic. Like he probably feels bad about saying that word because of the weight of the word. But also you inform on one guy. The FBI's like, once you're an FBI informant, you're kind of an FBI informant for life, I think, from what I've heard.
He could be lying.
How long before I see results with Tai Chi?
Day 3, you'll feel your energy. Day 7, your eyes will change.
That's true.
That's a real simple.
Just a misstep.
They used to be that fat.
He meant to say that everybody knows that Trump had basically not been an informant, but had given a statement to the FBI.
Dude, if Trump informed on Epstein and a bunch of other billionaires, like, good. Not necessarily for his businesses, but good. Like, that's a good. I don't. But then maybe
here's the
FBI, if it's strong arms and you never. Sorry.
Well, the question I have is the way that the Trump admin is handling the Epstein thing is weird, because he could just lie. When he's sitting at the table and it's like, why does everyone care about this? Oh, it's a Democrat hoax. He could literally just keep saying, the things we're finding, we're going to keep digging, and when it's ready, we'll get it to you. I'm sorry it's taking so long, but we don't want the bad guys to get away, so we need to build a sound case. And then everyone forgets about it, right? I've been saying this since the beginning. If Dan Bongino came out and said, we're looking at all of these Epstein files, and it's dark stuff. Guys, I am not going to release it before we're ready, because the bad guys will get away if we do. So it's going to take time. Everyone will forget about it. So I'm wondering, what the heck is going on behind the scenes? Because Trump could just lie and it would go away, but he's not. So maybe they're just incompetent. I don't know.
And I think most of those files are burned anyway. I mean, I keep hearing this from people like Mike Benz talks about it. Mike Cernovich talks about it for sure. Like day one, you torch the files and then you smash the servers. Of course, if you're going to cover up a crime like that.
Hold on. Let's cover Mike Cernovich.
Mike Cernovich said.
Mike Cernovich
himself.
Yeah, Mike Cernovich is so full of himself, he forgets to acknowledge the simple fact that he admitted that he had sex with a man. He wrote about it too, everybody. What is sex with a... Yeah, there's a blog post from 2007, 2008 entitled, DM me if you want the screenshot. Thank you, Dave, by the way, for saving that as well. What sex with a trans is like.
Yeah, I think I remember that, like hearing about it.
Yeah. And he
I didn't
said
read
that
it.
he tries to blame the substance abuse, and then he still goes into it when they get home, and he ends up taking a mouthful of
Vitamin D.
no, a mouthful of trans cock in his mouth.
So vitamin D. Got it.
Oh, Mike Cernovich is a faggot, everybody. Move on, Andrew, unless you got something to
These
say.
documents have been gone for years. There's no way they held on to any of the incriminating evidence.
But that they're still not. That Trump's still like, it's just a hoax. Forget about it. Even if the files are gone, like it's just a very weird. Left hand doesn't seem to know what the right hand is doing kind of energy right now, or like a scrambling
But if
kind
they
of
were,
energy.
it's highly likely that they've been destroyed for years. But then you can't account for why the Trump underlings were overpromising. The Pam Bondi saying they're on my desk, and that would be weird.
Yeah, like were they enticed into saying that by someone, and then they said it, and then realized.
Yeah, or you were just elected, and everybody's giddy, and it went to your head, and you like the adrenaline rush that comes from enticing the press.
What did you guys think about how those women, 100 Epstein survivor women, said they were going to drop all the names?
Why haven't they?
I don't know.
That's what I think. If they have access to name, if they have names to name the names. Like I think that it's BS, and I think it's BS specifically because this isn't new. They've had this information for allegedly 20 years or more or whatever. If they have this information, why are they sitting on it?
Yeah,
why did it go away yesterday? Release the information. If you have a list, compile the list and make it public.
I wonder if they're waiting for Massey's proposal. He has in Congress to get the files released. I think he's waiting on 3 more signatures in order to get it passed.
There's no guarantee that he'll ever get those signatures.
You know, and I will stress,
have information, put it out.
I will stress this too. Like, I do support Massey and Khanna's effort so far, but I got to be honest, the Oversight Committee and the DOJ have already committed to releasing the files and said they will. I don't trust them. So that's why I do think what Massey and Ro Khanna do lean towards the good. But at the same time, shouldn't you be like, all right, we're going to give them a month to put out the files. And if they're not going to do it, then we're going to file. To be like, they said they're going to do it. They've been putting out files, but we're going to do this anyway. I'm kind of like, they just put out 33,000 files, of which I think 3 to 5% were never before seen. So the files, or at least some of them, are getting released. Wouldn't the reasonable thing be, we're gonna give them the opportunity to release as they said they are. We're gonna trust that they're gonna do it, benefit of the doubt, and then if they don't adhere to a time frame, we'll go for a discharge petition. My point is just, it seems kind of weird to straight go for a discharge petition when they claim they're already working on it and literally just released files. It seems disingenuous. I mean, again, I don't trust they're gonna release everything, but the argument is then you've got to let it play out. I mean, again, the Epstein story is not going anywhere.
Right.
You know. It makes it feel like a stunt.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a response to them. The binder release that ended up being a nothing, and it's like, all right, that's day 1. Now day 2 is another nothing burger. Now 33,000 files go up, and there's like nothing there except for some new stuff that's nothing.
Well,
like, give us the real deal kind of energy.
You know, for sure. That's why I'm saying I lean towards more agreeing with them doing it, but I do think it's fair to question that you're going to have to redact stuff. Even in the Massey bill, they expect things to be redacted and withheld. So what is do we have reason to believe the Oversight Committee is literally not doing it? I mean, they put up 33,000 files. We got a decent amount of new documents. People aren't getting what they want. So again, I'll stress, I'm begrudgingly saying, well, you know what, they should do it because we just get them released anyway. But isn't there a component where it's just like, why don't you wait?
I bet Massey is doing what he thinks his constituents want.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Of course.
That's what this is all about. He thinks the people want it, so he's a vessel.
Yeah, that's probably right. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IR.
Interesting there, buddy. What is your take on this?
I could see the vessel part. I think it's very, realistic. And a lot of people, he speaks for a lot of people, even though he's technically only speaking for Northern Kentucky. So I could definitely see that.
Massey is doing what he's supposed to be doing.
He's putting himself over
working.
too.
Well, yeah, of course he's putting himself over. That's what you got to do when you're on the national stage of politics. It's just like a WWE show. It's like a house show. You got to put yourself over at the house show in order to incentivize that the company gives you the push you need so that you can start headlining pay-per-views and the main show and all this, right? So,
yeah.
But at the same time, he's doing his own thing. So, Andrew, I'm gonna take it. I gotta leave for a second, so I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Well, guys, this is a pretty developing story and everything. So, I guess we'll just find out what happens. I definitely think this is one of the Trump's decisions, or he's like trying to clear the air and make things more visible. But that's just one perspective. And the way he operated in the first 4 years, he threw grenades, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" And look what's going on behind that door. So that's what leads me down that particular point of view. So I don't know. We'll find out. But this has been an interesting little clip from Tim Pool, and I've always enjoyed looking over his content. So like, subscribe, hit us up on X, and keep watching, guys. And we'll talk to you in a little bit. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bitcoin, baby. Hey, yeah, this is Bitcoin. I'm back. The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this Bitcoin, baby. I'm back in this bitch. Flossing fast cars and rolling with my clique. The king of the rap shit, the real OG. Whack-ass rappers got nothing on me. Bought another Lambo, 3 hoes inside it. 10 hoes in line, ready to ride it. It's Bitcoin, bitch. Keep the track bumping. Really on the plug. I got pies in the oven. 80 years old, and your baby mama fond of me. All she wanna do is smoke my broccoli. Private jets from Rome to Ibiza. Lisa, Jenny, Julie, and Maria. Every day I gotta give thanks. I got bitcoins in the bank. Bitcoin, baby. I'm back in this bitch. Bitcoin, baby. Oh. I'm a bad motherfucker. Bitcoin, baby. The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this bitch. Axe your grandmother. Verse 2, coming with the gin and the juice. Call me a dragon. Spit flame in the booth. I'm hot, like a thermos full of coffee. So hot, can't get the hose off me. It's true, I got the weed card and shit. I'm smoking like a motherfucking chimney, kid. Bitches love me, my shit's never whack. Tell these motherfuckers, Bitcoin's back. Bitcoin, baby. I'm a bad motherfucker. Hey. Hot like hot coffee. Oh. Axe your grandmother.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The king of the rap shit. I'm back in this bitch. Get your hands in the air. Put your hands